Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. Obviously, we have a lot of Bayou Region football players who are going on to play on the collegiate level. And the biggest school, obviously, that hosts a lot of those kids is Nicholls State University. Obviously, it is in our Bayou region area. We have 13 individuals who are just from our local Bayou region who are playing for the Colonels, and we wanted to mention those kids to make sure that this upcoming season you can follow them. You can see how they're doing, and there are a couple of those guys who are going to be stellar athletes on that team, guys that I think are going to be leaders on that team, and it actually starts off with two seniors who played at rival high schools. First, we're going to take a look at Alex Villabasso. Alex Villabasso, who played his high school ball over at Vanderbilt Catholic as a senior this year. He played in all 12 games last year, had 47 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. Some people may say a little on the size. He goes around 235, 240, but his technique is so good that if you go out to a game this upcoming season, you will see that young man in the backfield of the opponent's offense more than not. A really good football player, and this year I think he's going to have a terrific season, as last year Nicholls' defense was actually very good. Also, another young man from, again, the rival school of Alex is from E.D. White Catholic, Ethan Lee. Ethan has been playing a lot for the Colonels. Again, he played in 12 games last year, 48 tackles, 1 interception, and he had 1.5 sacks as he got in the backfield a lot. He had a couple of actually TBLs too, tackles for losses in there too. A young man who will knock your lights out. He will come up and he will stick you, and I think the Colonels are looking for big things from Ethan, as again, he is a senior this upcoming year. Then we have a couple of juniors who have been kids who have contributed, not broken into the starting lineup. Christian Arsenault, a quarterback from South Terrebonne High School, was actually the backup last year. Remember, we had Patrick McQuaid there last year. Christian was his backup quarterback. He is now a junior, redshirt junior from, again, South Terrebonne. The young man from Berg, I think, is very, very capable of stepping in there and doing some things this upcoming year, and we hope that that may happen. Also, another junior who I think is going to play a big role, and that is related to providing depth for the Colonels this year. That's Jake Newchurch. Jake is another guy. You know, the one thing I can say a lot about the guys that we've mentioned so far that are on defense, they'll knock your lights out, and Jake Newchurch is one of those guys, a linebacker who played his high school football at E.D. White Catholic. A lot of E.D. White Catholic kids are actually on this team, as some of them were preferred walk-on, some of them obviously with scholarships, but when you have a program like Kyle Lasang has at E.D. White, you're going to have a lot of kids playing on the next level. Let's move down. Now we're talking about a couple of sophomores, and redshirt sophomore Aiden Clements has the potential to really add to the Colonels' defensive line this year. He was dinged up this past year, so he was hurt. Unfortunately, didn't get on the field for the Colonels, but I think that this year there are a lot of possibilities for him. He's got a little bit more weight than what he did, obviously, when he played on the high school level. So we could expect some good things from him. Another kid who is also from E.D. White is Taylor Thibodeau, and he is a redshirt freshman. Taylor is a guy, I'm going back to that same moniker because I don't know what else to use or how to describe him. Taylor will knock your lights out. He's a kid who has a nose for the ball, and in high school he was always around it. I think he can provide a lot of depth for the Colonels this year, and I think we'll probably see him on some special teams. Moving on. Sophomore young man who last year scored a touchdown against Mississippi Valley, got in that game. He did that rushing the ball, is Ian Rodrigue, a terrific athlete from Thibodeau High School. He is now a sophomore playing the quarterback position, and again, very, very capable. Comes from a long line of that Rodrigue family who were such great athletes on the football field, and I think that we could see some good things from Ian this upcoming year. Moving on. And I told y'all there were a lot. Talon Bingham, who is now a redshirt freshman, is playing on the defensive line for the Nicholls State Colonels, and he is a big body in there. He could do some things. He could plug some things up, and now being in a situation where he's got 1 year under his belt, hopefully Talon gets some playing time there for Nicholls State University. As we move on, Jeffrey Dietrich, a terrific running back, is a redshirt freshman this year from E.D. White. Of course, you guys who know that first run E.D. White made to the state championship when they played over at UL, Jeffrey was a big part of that. Got dinged up in his senior season over at E.D. White, but he's ready to contribute to the Colonels. Paxton LaFawn is going to be a good wide receiver. He also is a redshirt freshman from E.D. White. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, a lot of Cardinals on this team, and Paxton, a good big wide receiver who I think is going to have a good year. Guy who goes a little bit forgotten in this area, Reese Turner, was a terrific athlete at Assumption High School. And when I say athlete, he could play anywhere. He could be a receiver, he could be a running back, he could be a quarterback, he could be a defensive back. And I think he'll be a great special teamer for the Colonels this upcoming season. And then we have two that are in their true freshman year. One is Carson Hebert from Covenant Christian Academy. Carson, again, a terrific athlete who could play a lot of positions. I see him as being a slot guy for the Colonels, and really a tough kid, and he's getting bigger. One of those young kids who's getting bigger and bigger. And finally, Sean Hebert, a kicker from Vanderbilt Catholic, who I call Mr. Steady. I don't know that he has that big, booming 60-yard field goal leg, but he's Mr. Consistent when it's 40 and in, and I think that's what the Colonels could have used a lot of last year. So we wish all of those kids well, as they are our 13 student athletes from here in the Bayou region locally that'll be playing for the Colonels this upcoming year. Got to take a break. We'll be back with more sports right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.